Good evening, everybody. Thanks a lot for joining us. So we are here, we are back. It is a Monday and we've got a big midweek set up for us. We've got Champions League, we've got Europa League, we've got Europa Conference League, some MLS action, there's some other stuff dotted around the world of football as well, and it's another action-packed game week. There's been a lot of chat in the community over the weekend as well. There's been a lot of good hot topics and whatever, so anything you want to pick up on from anywhere, feel free to drop it in the comment section and we will get to it as we run through the stream basically. So tonight, like every other night, I'm going to look back at the last game week 200. How did they fare? How did the teams do? Any lessons we can take into the next game week in terms of player situations and whatnots, and we'll have a look at the prize pool because it looks like we're getting another super rare, which will be fucking fantastic. So have a wee look at the prize pool, see what we might get. And then we'll dive into the game week that's coming up. We'll preview some of the matches that we're involved in, and any of the other ones that look like they're there's a couple of big matches that I'm not too heavily involved in. There are some big dynamics for SO5, and it should throw up some nice, interesting situations throughout the game week. So I'm sure we'll cover all that stuff and probably a bunch more. If you are new here, you like anything, you laugh, you learn something, whatever, if you can do me a massive favour and smash that like button, goes a long way to support the channel. It means the world to me. Thank you very much if you do that. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and all that other good stuff. I'll jump into the comment section and drop down some fist bumps to the guys that we've got in the live chat. I've got a bunch of these in here as always. Predictology leading the crew, as well as Mikey Basson, Jack Taylor, Jack, good to see you, Misaki, Josh Forth, Robert Turner, and Matty Boyton, Non-Stick Llama, good to see he's all rocking about. Misaki is holding on to a top 200 spot in the weekly. Well done to you. Salute you, well done. Hope you get over the line. Very interested to see what it will be. Great game week to get something out of the special weekly. I think I was nowhere near it in the end. My plan totally backfired. It didn't work at all. on that one, but hey ho. The DNP chat has been a big one that we've seen dotted about, especially over the last 24 hours. Long time since I've made one of these live. Robert, I feel like you say that every time, or is that maybe just we get different people saying that? Because the start times have been a wee bit different. Like tonight it was a wee bit earlier. I just felt like, let's just press play and go for it. Matty Boy non-stick, and yeah, we're all here. Magic. So, the game week that we're leaving behind was one that we anticipated was going to be covered in it was going to be a minefield of different headaches, problems. Will he play? How many minutes will he get? Situations like that all over the place, and I was probably overcautious in that respect, and I didn't in the end. If you remember from the stream, I went into the stream having Nunez in a very good team along with Taylor, Harwood, Bellis, and then I ended up having Harwood, Bellis in a different team and not even playing Darwin. So had I kept both of those super rares together, Challenger D3 could have been a podium. Well, I've not done the maths, I've not looked at it, but I know 2 super rares shooting over 80 in a D3, that is a recipe for good times. So we bit disappointed at that little change, but a few other changes I made I think panned out pretty well, and I was a little bit unlucky with just some of the individual results and performances that we had across the game week. At the very end, right, I don't want to go through all my teams and whatever, right, but Champion D3, this one just finished up. Ivan Illich, nice little super rare I picked up on the fly. He's only like 19-20. They get beat 1-0. He was the best player on the pitch for them. Bagged himself 58 points before multiplier, So this team here, I know this because I was watching the match kind of in play. Trapp was on like 80-ish points before Stuttgart scored. So if you add another 40 points onto my score, you get me into the prizes. And now this team, we're just trying to give it a chance with the super rares, because Nemeka was a bit of a gamble also. Will he start? And the fixture was favourable if he did start, and that paid off. But it's good to see another young kind of guy like that as well that I've got relatively cheap. Might be able to mix it with the best of them, even though he's at a subpar team. Being the best player in a team like that, we've seen it last year with DePaul as well as other players. I'm sure you can give me good examples of that as well. Those guys can be valuable to have for a lot of different, on a lot of different dimensions, on a lot of different levels. So I was actually a wee bit disappointed. I watched the game, Lazio AC Milan for the most part. Kids were running around, it's hard to concentrate, but I got the most part of that match, and I don't think Theo Hernandez did that poorly. He got booked and he made a stupid foul at one point as well, or he got into the box and he got too greedy and he should have passed it I think once or twice. But I thought he might have scored a few more points than that. But so that's interesting for me, because Champion Euro D3 is a big division to pull prizes out of, and if I can get a foundation or something there, which I feel like I've got. I also had Paulinho as well, didn't play him this game week. Big Wanyama, he's getting along, he's doing his thing. Grandsir finally gets that decisive, and it's in a team with a fucking DNP. Miles Robinson, I didn't realise how much of a gamble that was, and I do regret that. A horrible decision that I made, right, was I overlooked, do you know what, I didn't investigate with Joseph, and I kind of knew it as I was doing it, and I kind of thought, well, I better double check that, and I never ever did it. But like, when the Venezuela match finished to the Atlanta match starting, it was genuinely in like 36 hours or something. And had I realised that, I definitely would have played him in my D2. That's a certainty. I'd maybe put him in America D3. So with that in mind, and I don't know what else I'd have done then how I shaped it up. Would I have been able to get an extra 84 points? Quite feasible. Again, Giacomakis did not see that coming. That caught me off guard. And then the Atleti boys didn't do amazing. But look at this, man. My global all-star. The back three, let's say Wirtz is in the back three quite loosely, of course. Jolly did alright with no decisive. It's always the kind of score you want to see from a forward that's not getting decisives, as those high 40s. Oh, ideally high 50s, but as long as you're getting into the high 40s without a decisive, that's a start. It's a good place to be for a guy who's just bedding into a team. Sani did great, and then this is the team that I'm running home with my prize. Barco, the boy on the back of my shirt, fucking ran it. I'm gutted I never played him as captain, because the last couple of game weeks I've said Barco has to be always captain, but I thought Hakimi outranks him, and the fixture was great. He just didn't get his assist. All his other stats were there, which is why he's bagged at 52. I don't think he got booked or anything. What did he lose points for? No triples or anything. Possession lost, duel lost. Lost 12 points for that. Missed passes, not many. No, he didn't even get booked. He just didn't do very much. they got him up to the higher end of the 50s, but he did well, of course, but no decisives, no key passes, not too many of the box entries compared to the week before. But it was the Atlanta guys that really turned up, both of them. I had the two perfect matches there in terms of the combo, which was great. So I was delighted to wake up to that result. That was fantastic. Cabral, I watched a good part of the Galaxy match, and he just, actually, I don't know if he's been credited or how many of them. He arguably missed two big chances. Yeah, it's minus 5 points. That's probably for two of them, or is it one? Arguably two. I don't know if that's, you guys all know better than me off the top of your head without me going and investigating it. But I thought he did okay, and he was very lively. He is one of these guys that, again, 40-ish points, I can live with that, I suppose. And we finished 6th, with two of my biggest hopes of the team, really, like Cabral being that striker that will play, is playing on the last shoulder, has pace, can finish. And Van de Voort conceded at the last kick of the game. He was running for like 80 points or something like that. I was touching third. I was within touching distance of third. Look at that, 28.88 points. I was in touching distance of third. I was just about to close that podium position, and then that 94th minute goal or something. Big chance misses, -5. Thanks, Joshy boy. So that this team was so close. Like, so close, man. Podium dangerous. We called it in the stream. I dropped a wee clip on Twitter earlier on. I don't know if he's caught it, but it was just me saying top 10 was the goal. But if everything clicked and we got the decisive from Cabral, which we didn't, even if we did get that with Van de Voort not keeping the clean sheet, we might have just done it. So quite close, but no cigar. This team never really went anywhere. Harwood Bellis did great, got an assist. This team never really went anywhere either. I didn't want to go through all my teams, but here we are. The special weekly, Sorloth won a penalty. Would you believe it? And this is the team I had him in. So Sorloth is one of these guys. He does produce decisives, but it's timing when to play him in the right team has been the hard thing for me. So hey ho, what can you do? Currently 9th in D2 Predictology. We're still in the tier 2 pot together then, that's brilliant. I've been looking at tier 2s, I've been looking at it 2 or 3 times already. I was dreaming of the tier 1 for a little bit. I was dreaming of the tier 1 when I was watching the LA match, and I was like, if Cabral can get a decisive, I would have been definitely in top 2 contention, I think, on top of the Van de Voort clean sheet at that point, But yeah, so good game week, had a lot of fun. Coming away with a prize, which is always great. Coming away with my ETH, which is great. For the good scores I had, and the good scores that I had that I didn't even actually play, I could have done so much better. But I bought some limiteds. I went and bought some Man City Legends. Navas, who's a defender, and then the midfielder will be David Silva. Double strikers, Alvaro Negredo and Lito. And I've got the goalkeeper Claudio Bravo. I'm not sure how much he's really playing for Betis. Seems to be still playing for Chile, which is cool. But just in case he's not playing, I got David Soraya, which is or Soria. I don't know how you say his name. Sorry. He's an old favourite from Football Index. He is a clean sheet machine, and they've had a hard start to the season. Elche is one of his better scores, I suppose. Very hard games to start the year. And this guy 2 seasons ago was like up there with Oblak in terms of stats, like for saves and whatever. He's still only 28. Getafe have got a little bit worse. I've just sold Cucurella, who, again, if you're on Football Index, you'll know Cucurella is a very good player, and I'm very disappointed we never got. Cucurella is definitely somebody I would have at least bought a limited of, just for that whole connection. I got a super rare Brace Mendes as well, as you might have just seen, which I don't know if we spoke about in the last stream. I think I got it 3 days ago, so I don't know if we were on stream before or after. I'm losing my mind now, sorry guys. But we got the Brace Mendes. I watched a wee bit of Celta Vigo. Again, kids were distracted, so I didn't get to pay too much attention to it. Didn't really see much of Brace, except for a pathetic dive that he did at one point, which may or may not have indirectly led to a Real Madrid goal, which, I was like, this is a funny start. But otherwise, nothing. Conrad De La Fuente, one of our hundreds. I think I have spoke about that with you. But yeah, so some exciting new cards are in the club, and we're buzzing going into this game week. None of those guys are really going to be playing a part in it. I'm going to catch up with you guys in the live chat in a second. But I'm just going to set up the fixtures we've got here, just so we can all kind of see. So it's a really interesting game week. And see, one thing I've only just feel, actually, I'll come back to this in a second, so it'll come to me now, but let me just catch up with you guys. Chrissy Quirk, good to see you, fist bump. He made a quality save a minute or so earlier. Van de Voort, so unlucky, such a fun game. Wow, Yeah, I was kind of watching the live commentary on Flash Scores, and I think I was watching the Real Madrid game at the time, maybe, or something like that. He made a qual. Yeah, so currently ninth. Had my keeper not conceded 7 goals. Oh, you. Who was it that got beat by 7? Was it the team that Anderlecht were playing? I'm losing my mind, and I think it wasn't it? I'm in for a tier 2 rare. Jackie Point and D4. Nice bump, my man. Well done. Nice. Yeah, Cucurellas went to Brighton. Noah Mbamba, I approve. Yeah, I'm liking rookie limited cards. I think that's the main. I've bought the Man City guys. I bought those guys at the beginning when limiteds first came out. I don't want to do too much for limiteds, but there's some things, like I said when it first came out, there's guys I've got as rares that if I had my time again, I would just have their limited version if it was available at the time, because there are guys that I don't want to invest much money into, but I want to have a wee piece of it, and if I can have some fun with them, brilliant, and if not, it's basically a virtual sticker I've paid £4 for. Like the Negredo was like £4, Navas was like £12, David Silva was maybe £60 or something, but that's cool by me, for just being limiteds. And the rookies as well, because the rookies are just something that could, it's very, very speculative, but it's just something that could do something, Mechlin, yeah, they don't care for defending very much. Chrissy Quirk knows his Belgian football, undoubtedly. But in terms of Champions League, we've got Liverpool, AC Milan, Man City, Leipzig. Doesn't really affect many people actually on SoRare, but Liverpool, AC Milan definitely does. So does Benfica, Dinamo Kiev, more so on the Benfica side, of course. Inter Real, a couple of Man U players which we know about. Will they play away to young boys? Will they start the best guys? Ronaldo's going to play because he has Mr. Champions League, and teams like young boys are the teams that Ronaldo kills on Champions League nights to keep that scoring record going. He'll be telling Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I am playing 90 minutes against these guys. I'm taking everything. And he'll be going, okay, yeah, he's a good guy. We like him. Leo Wolfsburg will be interesting for me, particularly the Mecca and Philip. I'm definitely back in this game week because Leo seemed really choppy. I've not been paying too much attention to him, if I'm totally honest, but I don't like the vibe I'm getting from them at the moment, SO5 wise. This is the game I've been waiting for this game week. Look at this. This just throws everything up in the air. Barca v Bayern. What a match. This is going to be the must-watch game of the week, undoubtedly. SO5 wise, there's not going to be too many Barca like stacks or powerhouse teams or whatever out there at the moment. Of course, Unique Pedri we know is now the most expensive card to be auctioned. That happened yesterday, I think. Congratulations, of course, on that. And it's going to be, it's hopefully going to throw out those guys or those lineups, just throw them out the window, cause a bit of chaos. We've also got, look at this, Sevilla against Salzburg. That'll be a good one for some SO5 action potentially as well, because it's one of those games that could just go one way randomly, because Europa League can do that with these types of teams. Sevilla, of course, we know are the poster children of the Europa League, but Salzburg have a good record as well, and away in Europe they could just go away and put some goals in the net as well. Now, Mark McBride and the rest of the Shakhtar crew are going to be absolutely fucking buzzing this game week. Away to Sheriff Tiraspol, which I don't think is really that bad of a journey for Shakhtar Donetsk. Tiraspol, I'm pretty sure off the top of my head it's like Albania or Macedonia, something like that. It's kind of East Coast and or Eastern Europe type of turf. Might be Georgia. It's one of those 3 countries anyway, and from Shakhtar that's not too bad a journey for them, so that's actually a decent tie, and they're very powerful, Shakhtar, of course. Bruges PSG, interesting fixture, of course. For SO5 should be a PSG win, you'd think, but you never know with some Bruges cards, they might perform well. Atleti Porto, I don't really want to touch with a barge pole, if I'm totally honest with you. Same with Juve, going away to Malmo, could be sketchy for Juve are kind of all over the place now. But yeah, you'd expect him to win, of course. But I wouldn't be surprised if there's a wee, you're not going to get the clean sheet. Maybe potentially that sort of thing could happen, could not go your way. And we again get to, is this Conference League? No, Europa League. So Galatasaray Lazio is a big one. And see, one of the things as well I was wanting to ask you guys is, I was going through these fixtures and then I was tying into the SO5 gameplay. Champion Euro etc was open, but Champions League doesn't seem to fit there anymore. Tiraspol is Moldova. Oh yeah, that's why their name's familiar, because there's just been a mad article about them and how they've came from like nothing and everything, and it's Yeah, it was a really. I watched that little piece of it. It looked like a good sort of documentary about them. That's right. It's Moldova. Yeah, so that's like it's no travel time at all. I think it's right next to them, isn't it? Ex-Russian country as well. Um, what's the best division to start in? Depends on your budget. I think Global D5 is the cheapest to start in. Depends what you want to do. Depends on your knowledge bank. Oh, no, regardless of your knowledge bank, you can play Global. You know, because it doesn't matter what you know. Um, but yeah, good answer from Josh there on the live chat. Luca Calabrese, good to see you, my man. Lassina Traore is definitely going to be an OP card this game week as well. Celtic have got Betis, which interests me. We can all support Leon this game week, so I'm putting Cherky. I think Cherky will start Ibrox, and I think he's going to run amok. So I'm playing Cherky. I'm playing Cherky and I'm playing Denier in my Global All-Star D4 just for fun, just for the fun of it. Got to back Leon as hard as I can. Dembele's buzzing for it. That could be a really interesting fixture. I'm also going to be backing my Frankfurt guys, the two of them that I've got. Monaco have got a good fixture, I would say. So do Leverkusen. Now the thing with teams like Leverkusen is they are prone to rotating in these types of matches. In the group stages, the easy games, rest some guys, rotate round, and try and manage their squad at every opportunity. When it's a new manager like the guy, I always forget his name, it's a Swiss guy. It's hard until you get a feel for what that guy's track record with that club is to really predict and forecast that. So as much as I'm really excited about Leverkusen, they are a team that worry me for rotating and whatever. Feyenoord, Sociedad, Fenerbahce, they're all going to be playing their best team possible. Moscow, Marseille, but teams like Leverkusen against Ferencváros, that's one. Spartak, I think they'll take that seriously, because their league start has been horrible, so they do not, they need to keep the fans on side. It's a home game, they're expected to win, they should win. So I think Spartak play their best team. Anything else I want to kind of say on that? Lazio may send some sort of team and a half, because I remember Lazio when Celtic had them in the Europa League, there was a really tough group we had that year. And Lazio definitely had some players that would start Europa League matches that wouldn't start Serie A. So they've got form for that, and it's not really necessarily disrespecting at Galatasaray, but I can't remember who the hell else was in the group. It was Lazio, Celtic, and it's totally escaped me now. I want to say Dinamo Zagreb in it that year. Anyway, I digress. Nothing else is really popping out here. Then we get to MLS, and MLS fixtures are just coming thick and fast at the moment. You're really trying to manage your knowledge base on any MLS action you're following, because they all do have very unique squad situations, as well as tactical formations and the types of players that they need to have in a match, etc. Who's the backup options? Who are the options that go international duty, do get injured, are suspended? These types of things are what you really need to keep on top of, and as well who's on the run, in terms of some teams go on the road 3 or 4 matches in a row, as you're probably aware, and you just need to watch out for those kind of fixture patterns emerging. I've got New York City at home, which is lovely. The last game actually didn't even wasn't the last game, I'm losing my mind, but the last game was, I can't remember why I had it in my head earlier on, it was really favourable because of this game week. I think it was home or something. Columbus, New York, LA, Houston. I don't really want to comment on all these matches because there is so many of them and it will take me all night, but if you're involved in these matches, I would always be favouring home teams, especially if you can watch those little runs, because midweek it's just about, if you can get 5 really good scorers midweek, the head count will be lower undoubtedly, so your priority has to be 5 starters, and that's a very easy thing to say given the conversations that have been going on social media over the last 36 hours or so, as I was mentioning. Europa Conference League down here, Vitesse, wow, what a fixture they've got. NS Mura, I have no idea where they're from. Because of the little thing on the S, I would like to say Bosnia, but I've got no idea. Roma and Jose Mourinho at home to CSKA Sofia, which is a Bulgarian team. Las Glins have an okay match, I suppose. I've got no idea. They're maybe Estonian or something. Feyenoord have got a good game as well. And then Philly Club America, I don't really want to make of that match, so I wouldn't want to pass an opinion. So some interesting games. Vitesse could be the runaways, to be honest with you. They could run that team over, no problem at all. Ghent have got a good fixture. Estonian teams are not known for their defending. Anywho, Let me get back into the live chat, see what you guys are saying. I've not missed too much. Yeah, the Leverkusen have the depth to do that type of thing as well. You're quite right, Masaki. Some of the teams that, like if Inter Milan run the Europa League, and I'm not saying Leverkusen and Inter Milan are on parity, but there is clubs like that in the competition that will play their second choice left winger. Give him the minutes, he's good enough, he can go and perform, whatever. It's just about managing, you know, the expectations of the coaches and the manager, and who they like and who they bring on off the bench often, or who's just coming back from fitness they're going to want to get off the bench in Europe, rather than the normal guy that comes off the bench potentially, that kind of thing. Mura is from Slovenia. Oh yeah, it's the wee thing on the S. Oh, so that yeah, it's like Zahovic then that I've been thinking of. I recognise that wee inflection. That's why I wanted to say Bosnian. Lask sacked their manager today. Interesting to see how they go. Yeah, definitely. That will be interesting for sure. Now, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll look at this week's setup and then look at the prizes. Let's do that. Let's do what we normally do. So, in this game week coming up, I'm getting, at the moment, yet to be determined, right? But I've got 4 teams in All Star, 2 teams in under 23s without a D4, 2 in Champion America, and 1 in the weekly. So I've got like 9 teams set up there. I might have another like gambling option potentially for a goalkeeper, but it's just where you can register teams, because I don't feel like my Champions League players etc can be registered to play Champion Europe this week, and I think that's the way it's meant to be now going forward. Pardon me. So if any of you can clarify that for me or not, because I see when I click into it and then I go to, it will show me them, but it will show me them as having no game for this game week. Oh, here we go, they've popped up now. That's weird. Maybe it was a little early bug, so I might even rejig this a little bit. Thomas Henry has started his Venezia career with a bang, and look at that's all I can really say. He had a great record last season by all accounts. He was very famous in the one-shot league amongst a few other places, and it seems like the Venezia scouting department have been playing SoRare very thoroughly and finding their players, because they're building a good little team and they've got some good cards already. So yeah, it seems to be a good player at a good team. Start off, yeah, okay, so I'm not actually too sure I want to spread this out. I'm actually quite happy with where I'm at. I'm going to check the head counts, and if the head counts really look appealing, then I might rejig some things around. So that's important to note, that we have some of those options now open to us. So Champion Euro D3, 221 entrants, 17s. We're getting to rares. D2 would interest me. 85 entrants, top 9. Nah, that's not appealing. Right, let's see what have we got for Global All Star, because it's I'm looking at that, having looked at the weekend ones for the last like 24 hours. So it's always that kind of shift you need to make between midweek expectations versus what you've just had at the weekend, because all the football's on, you know. But Div 2, 195 entrants, so less than the D3, is that? Yeah, okay. And we're getting super rares back to 19th. Yes, please. Yeah, I say global for me. Global is my bread and butter, guys. That's what I'm all about. Oof, just going on to 1400 in All Star. 60s for rares. That's okay, I suppose. D4 just under 7,500. Wow. If you're pulling cards, by the way, if you're pulling cards out of global, you've done a good team, man. There's no doubt about it that kudos is gained from success in Global All-Star D4, regardless of how serious everyone takes it, you know. It's still great kudos, you know. 4,000 odd in D5, which is interesting. 500 prizes, which is mad. Mad good, of course. So I think I'm quite happy with where I'm at. Special weekly. Let me check under 23s. Actually, have I done that yet? Under 23 D2. 74 entrants. I've got a good team, man. Oh, a top 10 gets something. We can go top 10 again. I can definitely do that. Wait till you see my team. And D3 is the other division I'm going for. Just under 300 entrants. Let's just say top 20 get prizes, basically. It's not great chances, but I think my team's decent. I don't think the D4 numbers will be that much more enticing. No, they're not really. 1,000 top 77 versus 286 for top 18. Yeah, well, and it's better quality at D3 as well, so yeah, I'm happy to do that. And then America's America, I'm just doing with that, whatever. And then the special weekly is the last thing I want to check out the prize pool for. With the stipulation being 270 entrants flat, top 30 get something. Champions League players. Let's look at the tiers. I want to see what's in this because special weekly. Let's see again. Sorry, I need to go back to see what tiers do we want to be diving into on that. Special weekly. Okay, so tier 2 supers and tier 3 supers. Yeah, tier 2 and tier 3 supers are the main thing I want to be looking at. That's the main thing I'm going to be going for. And anything else is like a consolation prize, really. So tier 2 super rares and a special weekly. Good mixture of like under 23s, I suppose. It's just a kind of global kind of pot, isn't it? There's a little bit of everything in here. There's a Matip, there's a Cow, Hatate. Yeah, there's like Efren Alvarez. It's just a lot of different odds and sods, really. Also a bunch of decent, definitely what I'd call a tier 2 card, certainly, yeah. Raskin, Demerby, Dewan Jones. Yeah, okay, I can accept that as a credible kind of prize. I think I've just clicked too hard on something there by mistake. And then the tier 3 supers. Crescito, he's not too bad, I suppose. That wee Bernardo guy can't be too bad if he's at Salzburg and he's playing. Hollingshead's decent. Palocevic has a good record in the past. So the tier 3s are okay, I suppose. It's not terribly exciting. It's not like it's packed full of Champion Euro cards, for example. Kyle, my man, good to see you. So it's interesting enough, I suppose. And then if I were to look at rares, I think it starts at tier 2 rares. I don't think you get any tier 1s or anything. And then it's tier 3s. But at the top end of the tier 2, let's see. Henk Veerman, Joe Matip, Bruno Martins Indy, Stojanovic, Quagliarella, if that's how you say it. Lisa Kovic, the mad slut. And Freddie Montero, Victor Wanyama. So nothing too exciting. So I'm not overly jumping up and down, but I'm putting a good team out for it. And if we do well, we do well. Yeah, awesome. Sorted. So I'm just going to kick off with my All-Star D2. I'm just picking my best team and just going for it. So Nubel is the best chance for me, I think, to get myself a wee clean sheet. That combo of Lennon and Barco. That combination of Lennon and Barco is going to come to pass again. Joseph has had a wee bit more rest time between, the last match he was featured in and this match at home to Cincinnati, who we all know leak goals like mad. I have to back them hard, and Legit is just my boy now. He only scored a 48 in the last match, but he had just came from international duty, jumped straight into the team, kept going. So I'm a wee bit worried he maybe doesn't get 90 minutes again, but he never really does get 90 minutes. That LA team, I've got a lot of them, I know this pretty well. They rotate, they kind of share the load, so you're really banking on them getting decisives in the 75 minutes that they play, the 80 minutes, or if they're coming off the bench, that they're effective enough that they can maybe grab one off the bench for you and pull you over the line. So Legit's the one that I'm the most on the fence about. So I'll probably have a wee scan over and just see if there's anyone I've maybe dropped into training or something I've maybe overlooked that I think, oh, do you know what? He's a bit more set on to do a job for me than maybe on Legit, because I know Legit didn't play all the minutes. Houston at home, it's a bit, LA need to win every game at home, but they do have rotation options and it's not beyond them to give the guy a break because he has just done a wee bit of travelling. Or maybe they, anyway, I'm over talking it, you know what I'm saying. So super rares only, remember. Wanyama. I think Wanyama definitely pulls in like a 50 or something, away to Orlando. So always got that chance of getting booked in a match like that. So defensive midfielders away from home. Hakimi is in a different team that I'd much rather have him in. So I think defence-wise he's my best option. Cabral may come from the bench as well, that's why he's not in this team this game week, because he did miss a big chance, and he did. I think he actually played the whole 90 minutes. So the chances of him not starting the next match is a wee bit higher in my opinion because of that. Trippier, I don't really want to be touching that match too hard. I want this D2 to do really well. I like doing well at D2, it makes me happy. There's no other way of saying it. It makes me happy. Jordan Larson's a good team downstairs. Would I pull him up for it? I suppose I really should, shouldn't I? I think now that I've said that, I've kind of cursed myself into it. I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't. Because I do normally play Larson in this D2. That's the thing. Let me go and check what I've got in my D3 this week. Why have I got? I've got Larson and Trippier in there, I'm sure. I think I've taken that division quite seriously this game week, because I thought, I'm sure Larson will come in with the goods. Yeah, put in Sané. I think Bayern could do some. You know, I've got Sané and I've got Depay. You know, so I'm quite happy if any one of the teams do, you know, beat each other or score goals against each other. Because I don't have any defenders from them. You know, so I don't really, or goalkeepers. So I don't really care about what the score is if there's goals. I'm happy. But so I suppose I could take Larson out of there and put another super in his place. Upgrade Larson, because I definitely think at home and leg, yeah, that's got Larson written all over it, man. You know, so if he starts, which he should start, you know, there's no reason for it at all. I know we didn't start the last match, but I think the manager, I was just saying this to, I think it was in a group chat somewhere, I think the manager's maybe used that to himself to just justify trying Sobolev and Pons, because he fucking loves Pons. You know, he really wants him to play in the team, and he's just trying to, you know, he knows Sobolev is important to the club, did well last year, he's a hard guy to drop, as is Larson, so he's trying to see if he can pair them together, and they still won quite well, but Larson, no doubt for me, has to play this game. He makes the most chances, he does so well with Quincy on the pitch as well. So yeah, I think I'm probably going to put Jordan in here. And then I've got, yes, I've got Nubel and Jordan with a little container in the middle there of Atlanta, you know. So yeah, I think that's the way I want to roll with this game week. I'll drop Leggett, because I still think Leggett has the chance of performing the way I would want him to do well in that D2. But by putting him in here with Kamada and Sané and the likes, he's still got the ability to be just as effective for me, which I'm happy with. So yeah, I think he could even just drop straight into there, and that makes me quite content. He's at home at Houston as well, so everyone's at home except Sané, which doesn't bother me. I'm not even bothered if Sané doesn't start for some weird reason, if that's like a mad shock, because Sané can be effective from the bench. So yeah, I'm quite actually happy with that little change, that little train of thought. Maybe just swap around, make a wee bit more of a, I don't know if that's even a more adventurous decision or not. This is my D4, so I'm backing Leon as heavily as I can. Denier and Cherky. I expect Cherky to start and run the show, I'll say it again. I'll be in a Jetty, is going to play against Betis without any shadow of doubt. I think how well he does, who knows. I'm not making him captain. Ethan Horvath should start this game, because the Forest goalkeeper continues to not impress. And he has been playing the cup games, which have also been midweek, so it's an easy opportunity for the manager to put him in for a league match. Here's your chance, go for it, son, you know, take it. At home at Middlesbrough, which I'm sure will be a tough game, but if he performs well, and he might get the chance, I'm banking that he does from a global all-star D4, and this team could maybe go on and do something. And if Horvath doesn't play, then I'm convinced Cherky will probably score like 85 points. Denier will probably get another score like he did today, so he'll probably get about 76. So between the score that Denier and Cherky will get me from playing against Rangers, they're going to get to like 150 odd points. So if then a Jetty can get like 40, they gets me to about the 200 mark or so. And Zella Ryan is captain. If he can do anything, hopefully gets us over the line and maybe gets us into the bigger reef. So the four of those guys, I'm happy they can score high enough that they can carry the DNP goalkeeper to ETH. So that's the hope and that's the dream. We'll see what happens. And in the D5, I think I've just picked my best. Now I've actually got the Spanish lads that I've just signed. I'm not even going to drop it. I've already put them in training. I'm just going to leave them there. I don't want to think about them this game week. They've just been bought. They're just wee stickers for effing about with another day, another time. So this is my Global All-Star D5. I basically went all Sparta again. I think it's a really good fixture. And then the Christensen is just the best guy I've got potentially to play as the spare man. And this team it's Gigo in it now, so just for my other options. But Paxton Aronson and Andres Yasin, I'm not excited about points parties. Same with Malambo here. Did I have anyone in training? Sobolev, Camavinga. Yeah, Camavinga might do something away to enter. I doubt it, to be honest with you. Sobolev, don't know if he'll play or not, because he does love, the manager does love. So it's hard to play him in this game. Bambat's going to be hard to play him in this game as well. Do you know what? I might even play Jesus Navas. Now look at that. Oh, if I'm changing this team. I'm going to David Silva. Get in there. Get in there. Oh, my big Gigo and Larson. Who have I got else for Larson? Because he is a wee bit of a gamble, I suppose. Adamu's getting the praise. He was the little youngster that I picked up. Because you've got a decision with Salzburg forwards. What one you're going to go for? And I thought, I like Adamu. He's a domestic youth international. You know, like he plays Austrian 21s or whatever. And, you know, I can get behind that. Gigo, do we want maybe swap him for somebody else? No, I like Gigo a lot. That's a cool team. Let's do that. Navas and Silva come in to reinforce the guys. Shane McGregor, bam, good to see you. Not sure if Fenerbahce will lie down. Too easy. I've been their defensive until their new coach. For who's it Fenerbahce have again? I don't think Fenerbahce are going to do well. I just know that was my thought of the match, but I've forgotten who they have now. Fenerbahce. Oh, Frankfurt, of course. No, I don't think they'll lie down either. But German teams at Europa League, like I just don't think you can back against them with much confidence. They, like they don't win every time, but German teams in Europe are normally pretty efficient. They'll win, they'll do their job at home. So All-Star under 23 D2 again. I'm trying to go strong. I'm trying to go as strong as I can. I'm trying to go mob-handed as often as I can. The goalkeeper I've got is getting a great fixture. Hakimi, in my opinion, should be getting a decisive in a match like this. It really should be. So I'm making him captain for that reason. I wouldn't be surprised if PSG go out there with a clean sheet, just because of how imposing they're going to be, no doubt. Efra Alvarez, I back him to start, just because he hasn't started the last couple of games, and I like to say with rotation and a few other bits and pieces, I think he's going to start. So I'm putting him in my best team. Paulinho and Nemeka. I think Nemeka has to play for me, because I think Wolfsburg have to play their best team against Lille, and whatever that results in the football pitch, we'll soon see. But I think that means Nemeka plays, and if Nemeka plays, I'm happy, right? So that's what I'm going with. Paulinho is also a little tiny bit of a gamble. I think he will play, because I think they'll want to keep him playing, because he's just missed so much football recently. But that has also been what made him reoccur, like the last time they recovered. So do I play Darwin Núñez? Darwin Núñez away in Kiev, or will it even be in Kiev, or do they play a neutral venue now for European matches? I'm not even sure, to be honest. But obviously had a great game at the weekend there, but I do believe he played at the weekend to probably rest whoever is going to start in Russia. That's just the way I'm looking at it from afar, really. And subsequently, Darwin can be good from the bench, but that doesn't motivate me enough to put him in ahead of Paulinho, who I think has a better chance of actually just starting. So yeah, and if I hit on the Mecca, I wonder if I can see another midfielder or not. So again, like I'm saying, the team I want to value the most, the team I want to put my best players into, I just want to get the feel for the ones that I'm behind, I'm up on, I've got a bit of an idea, I think I know what's going on, and back to the ones that I think have the best chance of getting the most minutes. Now, I do have players as well, like Darwin Núñez. I've won prizes with him, I've won prizes with other guys just like him, that I know won't play, or that I don't know they'll start, but I know they'll feature. And guys like that who are effective can still get you the points required to get you over the line. But there's nobody else that's jumping really out to me, so I'm happy. That's the best team, and that's my under 23 D2, and I really think again top 10 with that team is on the cards. In a big way, especially if Paulinho plays. He could get double decisives against Ferencváros, and if he does that, yippee-ki-yay. Milton Valenzuela has returned to action, and I think they're managing his minutes. I've seen it, if you look at the minute management from the last time before he had that small reoccurrence, he's just recovered from again. So I expect him to play at least 45 minutes. If he gets to 60 odd minutes or whatever, maybe he gets an assist while he's on the pitch, or a clearance off the line or something, you might get lucky, and maybe we'll get decisive from him. If not, at least he'll get me a base level defender amount of points. Ferran Torres, Dejan Joveljic, I expect both of them to start, I expect both of them to get decisives. Cabral, I know will feature, and I think even from the bench, I think coming from the bench in this match will benefit him. So even if he comes off the bench, Cabral, I'm confident he can do what I need him to do in this team to maybe get me in amongst the prizes. And I'm captaining Joveljic because I just think, that's a game that LA potentially could put a marker down. Chicharito's back in the team, of course. Grandsier's finally got a decisive, so they're full of confidence, and if you can back LA this week, I would encourage that. What else have I got? Champion America. So we're going D2. Thoughts on Atletico Madrid, Suarez, Savic and Hermoso. I think Atletico Madrid, because Porto are not a team that Simeone are going to take lightly. That's my American D2. It's quite puntish. I expect Titan will play. I've got no real anticipation that they'll do well because I'm backing Atlanta very heavily, of course. Acevedo should play. Wanyama, I expect to play. Same with Russell. If that team does something brilliant, if it doesn't, it doesn't. I'm not too bored about it, to be honest. But with Atletico, home at Porto, I'm sure it is, isn't it? That's a team, that's a game that I think Simeone will want 3 points, and the 3 point starts have been solved at the back. But I think Suarez is the kind of guy that should be scoring maybe 2 goals against Porto in the Champions League. That's the sort of guy Suarez is, and that's the sort of setup Atletico Madrid have, where they do have him as well as, I've just went blank actually with the rest of them, but like Cunha, Felix, Correa, and who's the other one? It's the other one I've went blank on, I know it is. Anyway, you'll fill in for me, you know who it is. Experience in Europe. Darwin is on the bench. I think it could be Rafa, Yarmchuk and PC front three. Yeah, I agree with that, Josh. For Darwin predicted 20 minutes. Yeah, exactly. I don't think he's going to get much, so I'm not going to go with that. But Hermoso and Savic. So the back three, Jimenez has been on the bench. Who was the back three? It was Hermoso, Savic and Philippe or something like that, isn't it? The guy was from Porto, I think. But Hermoso he likes, Savic he definitely likes as well. They'll be they're the big game players. Same with Llorente, Koke, De Paul. I think he didn't play at the weekend. I think De Paul starts this match to control the game. And I think I wouldn't be surprised at all if it's 1-0 Atletico. Wouldn't be surprised if it's 3-0 Atletico. I don't really see Porto doing much. I just think I rate Atletico really highly. It's not a slant on Porto at all. Juve could be a banana peel. Like what we're saying, these matchups seem a lot to look forward to. Yeah, there's a lot of good games this game week. I only really fully see since getting Camavinga and then a couple of other La Liga guys. I notice this like every week, and it's a total surprise to me. I always forget to really remember, but I've got Amazon Prime and I've got La Liga TV, so I've got every Spanish match, every game is on Amazon. It's not free, obviously I pay for it, but it feels free to me because I already pay for it. It seems anyway. It might be charging me more now all of a sudden, I don't know, but hey ho. Is the full Ajax tag a gore this midweek? Ajax have got a good fixture, don't they? I don't know. I know I'm quite heavy on Atlanta, and I've got a bunch of Spartak players which have actually just broken up. But stacking for me, I don't know. It's so I feel dangerous. I can remember when I bought the Hakimi, then I was going for the Goretzka, I wasn't getting them, and I was like, the next guy in the pecking order for me from Goretzka is Brozovic, and the whole idea of having Hakimi and Brozovic terrified me because I'm like, shit, well, if Inter start doing crap or this happens or that happens, then or they don't have a fixture. You know, if that's my 2 super rares, because back then I only had like 3 super rares, and I was getting another one. It's like, oh my god, I'm getting another super rare. This is amazing. But having 2 of them that wouldn't have a game, you know, like a midweek situation potentially, you know, if it was a midweek where Inter didn't have a match or whatever, then it's 2 super rares that can't be involved. That seemed like massive jeopardy to me, so I always avoided it. But anyway, point being, what was my point? Oh, stacks and such, yeah. So that kind of, it's always against my kind of gut to promote it, to be honest with you, because I just feel there's so much jeopardy on it. I like to spread my where the hell are you? Oh, I don't have any Ajax cards, so it's not on the little preview thing here for me. Sporting has a lot of injuries, yeah. I think it's something I'm familiar with. So where are you? Leicester, Napoli. Oh, Napoli's got, that's interesting. I wonder how that'll pan out. We're all back in Leon this game week, aren't we? Really, let's be honest. Where the hell are Ajax? I should know who Ajax have got. I don't think it's that easy a game, is it? Can I see Ajax? Are you? Is this a trick question or something? Is this a setup? AFC Champions League. Yeah, I didn't see Ajax. Maybe I'm tripping. Who did Ajax have? Joshy boy, I don't see them. Or maybe I'm tripping. Oh, Sporting. No, oh, it's a tough game. You're going all in, aren't you? If you're doing that, that's why I missed it. Champions League right at the top there. Away at Sporting is no easy game. You know, they're on a very similar level. I'm looking Conference League clubs. I'm happy to have cards for, definitely. I do not discourage it whatsoever. Champion America D2, you've just seen that. Champion America D3. Going Sean Johnson, Miles Robinson surely comes back into the team. Gran Sierra and Medina are both. Oh yeah, the New York City, the last game, it didn't go ahead, did it? Is that maybe what I was thinking? Like, oh, that's good for the next game week at least. Or no, Medina was suspended. That's what it was. So it's good for Medina for the next game week because he just served a suspension. I think it was yellow card accumulation. I didn't play him, you know, so I didn't get him as a DNP, which was thankful and quite lucky. Because I did catch that at the very last minute, even though I didn't actually select him anyway. And Chicharito's back, so I can put him as captain. So that team is like just ticks all the boxes. Midfielders that should get decisives, a striker that should run riot, a goalkeeper and defender that can both get to the upper 60s. What kind of score do you think is required to win a reward in D3 Challenger or D3 Global All-Star? I think in Global All-Star D3 you really need to be shooting for 400, like including, you know, your net score, including multiplier, your captain. I think you need to be getting to 400 to. I'll show you my. Yeah, I'm sure. Like used to be 350 was my first kinda like, yeah, if you can get into 350 then I know I'm progressing, I know I'm doing well. But now really to guarantee something, All-Star D3, I've got picked up 220 there. 116 away from a prize, so yeah, like 350. I suppose that still kind of stands now because the dynamic reward structure has been upgraded. Of course, I'm kind of thinking I've got my old head on. Sorry there. So yeah, in a game, yeah, this is the weekend as well, you know. So yeah, 350. But if you need All-Star D3, if you can get into 350s, you'll be in amongst it. You might get lucky, you might get unlucky, but yeah, I think 400 you're definitely in the chat most of the time. I've definitely seen you. I've had a 406 I think in a game week in Champion D3 it must be said, and I didn't get anything, you know, but equally I think I'd have got more than somewhere else for sure. Anyway, so yeah, 350 is my kind of base if you're going to go, and I think Challenger, I've not really entered Challenger D3 too often. This game week was my first in I think ever. Whereas Challenger D3, I was one I had par with Bellison, I think, wasn't it? Oh no, I disposed of the Challenger because I had Darwin in it and I went under 23s. With the Harwood Bellis because of the Koki Machida DNP, of course. And then the special week, this is the last team I've got. I'll fix the little training things I've just messed about with some of the limited cards. I'm just going with the Champions League guys. I couldn't get into a Global All-Star team or anything like that. I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, should I be put this into Champion Euro D4? Maybe I will, by the way, because let's have a look at the prize pool again. In Special Weekly, they could win me a Super Rare or whatever, right? But the Super Rare or whatever could be, we've seen them, at best tier 2s, like whatever. But champion Euro, D4, if we got into the top, okay, top 25 is attractive, top 80, 678 entrants, 275. Yeah, I'm sticking with special weekly, just a smaller pool to fight against. I think I'll get decent cards for it, Liverpool AC Milan is definitely not an easy fixture, but both my guys should score well, I think. Same with All Black. Max Phillips can get a decisive, well play. Depay, he's got 200s back to back for me. He's the captain, he's the main man, runs the show. But it is Bayern, so like maybe Bayern show up and thump Barca, so that's why I'm trying to keep Sané and Depay away from each other, because I don't want to have everything on that match, because I think that if when one of them hits I won't really get the full benefit because the other been hampered by it as a result, So I'm trying to split them apart, and I'm just kind of, I think Bayern are a bit better shape than Barca, even though Barca have looked good. Coleman has actually come out this week, I think it was yesterday, saying that thanks to the quote was, "Thanks to me, this club has a future." I thought, what a big-headed thing to say. He is just waving a red rag to a bullbucks. He knows that will just piss everyone off. He hates him, and fair play to him, for doing it from that angle, But wow, what a comment! What a statement to make. Thanks to me, this club has a future. Rasmus will put you into training. Opening. Who are we captain? It's Captain Christensen. Magic. Guys, I'm kind of at a loss now. I think I'm kind of done. Oh, I've got the prize pool to look at for what we've pulled this game week, and I'm going to actually look back at my SD11. I lost this game week, so the bench actually let me down, guys. We've been talking about DNPs. Oh yeah, I was looking forward to talking about this just from a what think about this, perspective. I'll get to that in a minute. So we're talking about DNPs and subs and whatever. Yeah, I think that's all we're kind of doing for this game week. I hope you have fun with your selections. I've got like 9 teams out. I don't think I can get any more out really. I do have some guys showing up now for this. Do I have any more spares I could rustle a team up with? I don't have any more goalkeepers, do I? I've got my common Paul Lopez. Why not, eh? Do I have anyone else in training? Yeah, I've still got Theo Hernandez and Mancini. I think Theo away to Liverpool's dodgy because I think Liverpool score, and Theo, like, I don't know how well he'll do against Liverpool, put it like that. Mancini should do well. Works, I've got no idea if he'll play or not. Vlasic, I could see him playing to get the minutes and get bedded in with the team, and they'd expect him to spank Dinamo Zagreb since he's a Croatian international, and he should feel at home and whatever, blah blah blah, but it's all conjecture, I'm just telling myself a story. It's not based on anything. So you've always got to remind yourself of that sometimes. Is like, am I just making this up, talking to myself? Sometimes it is, yes. It's just based on that feeling, which sometimes pays off, but sometimes it doesn't, and you need to try and manage those times where you're just try to convince yourself of something, or when it's based on probability or whatever. Saul against Zenit, I don't think that will happen. Isco against Inter, maybe could happen, I suppose, away from home. Maybe not. I don't know what Ancelotti will do, to be honest. In that respect, I'm not going to gamble on it. I think McKennie will play. Don't know how well he'll do, but I think he'll play. Let's put him in. Cherky's got a team already. Diatta might play. I'm not going to bank on it. Ronaldo. Can I play 2 commons? That's a bummer. Sorloth. I think I play Sorloth, don't I? Like Joe David. I think Wolfsburg are decent. I think Sorloth. I think Spanish team away. We've got good players. Sorloth's a big guy. Yeah, let's just pick him. This is just a pure punt of a team anyway. We've got a common goalkeeper. Imagine we pulled a prize, but it was so funny. And then I don't think Werner makes it into this Chelsea team at home. Or maybe he does, maybe he plays Europe. Maybe that's what his role in the team is. Maybe that's how Tuchel keeps him on side, is like, you'll play primarily in Europe and you'll rotate in the league. And if that's his song he's been sung, then he'll be playing, and having him could pay off. I'm not playing Camavinga. I'm not playing Camavinga. I'm not playing Camavinga. Right, so I think it's really Werner I'm looking at, or Wirtz. I think Wirtz, like, again, like, it's hard for me to judge because Leverkusen against these. I'm talking to you about Paulinho earlier on, and we're chatting as well in the live chat about it, that they could rotate and whatever, yada yada. They do like playing. Like Havertz rose to my attention because he was scoring goals for fun in the Europa League, you know, when he was like 17 or something like that. Wirtz could do that this season very, very feasibly, very comfortably, playing at home to Ferencváros, Betis and Celtic. Between those 3 games, he could score a goal a game and get an assist a game, you know, quite easily. Never mind what he does away from home. You know, he's got that ability. So, because maybe the club value him and they really want to build him up, whatever, maybe they play him. Or because it is a must-win fixture, but it's not the toughest team in the group, maybe they take the chance to give him less minutes. So these headaches will forever frustrate me until the end of time. But that is part of the game I'm playing. Is I'm trading on knowledge, you know. I am trying to predict a better team than you based on my perception and my information, and that's what you're doing. The exact same thing. I know Teal play. He could get a goal. Counter attack, Trent's up the pitch or something. Teal is rapid, but he's good for a booking as well. Yeah, it's not really a game I want. But I'm going to play Werner. I'm going to play Werner. Surely that's how Tuchel's kept him on board. We'll captain Mancini because he's the only one that I've got much faith in terms of will guarantee me 60 points or so. When I say guarantee loosely, of course. But Mancini's a great defender. 3-8-ish for Challenger 3, good to know, Joshy boy. This weekend will be less due to DNP. Yeah, so this weekend the points thresholds are definitely a bit down because of all the DNP minefields all over the place and all the rest of it. But yeah, and next week it will probably not be as, it definitely won't be as bad, of course. But you're going to need to get used to this cycle and knowing what players are in good clubs, you know, that manage them well, or they're in a good physical condition and they can manage the workload they've got, and you know, what kind of distance do they travel when the club does take the chance on them, what kind of distance do they travel this time the club didn't take the chance on them. These are interesting things to take note of for next time, you know, so you get to know your player and their club and their situation a bit better. Werner definitely plays, in my opinion. Zenit have no Karahayev as well, so will be weaker than usual down the right hand side. Presume Werner will play slightly off the left. Josh, I hope you are right. Oh, well, if that is Mancini 100 incoming. Oh, Josh, you make me want to play these guys somewhere else now. That's a Jose type of move. What move is that? Misaki. Maybe I play them in... No, they're not Champions League, all those guys, are they? Is this a Jose move, this team? Werner Defo plays. That's making me want to play Werner somewhere now. Can I think if Werner Defo plays, he runs amok. Who have I got in Global D4? Cherky and a Jetty. Well, I'd play Werner over a Jetty. I'm only playing a Jetty there just for shits and giggles, but I'd definitely play Werner. Werner Denier. And then it makes me want to drop Cherky out, because Cherky, like, jokes aside, might not do that great against Rangers. Might not play. I think he will. It's a bit of a gamble, isn't it? Maybe I drop Cherky for Werner. Try and beef this team up a bit. All-Star D3. Sani, Barca were to do. Oh, I think, yeah. I think maybe even wait. If you've, Joshy boy, I'm taking you on some value here that you, because I had that kind of feeling. Oh, yeah. Come in here with Kamada and Leggett, Trippier and Trap instead of Sani, who's on great form. Barca have been a bit cack, haven't they? Depay's been good, but Werner. Then I'm taking that Barca game right out of the equation. Werner has some making up to do. Kamada scores in Europa League, I'm keeping him in there. As I keep telling myself that. It's a big thing that got me onto Kamada was his Europa League form for Frankfurt. When I was playing Football Index, he didn't have IPO at that point. But it was the season before he scored against Arsenal. I don't know what to do now, guys. I'm chopping and changing a wee bit here. Because that then frees up Sani. And Sani can go in a few different teams, really. Do you think Werner's going to play? I really want to put Werner on a good team now. So I put him in here. I know Sani over in a mock then, but I know all these guys over in a mock as soon as I drop them. That's the problem I've got. Oh, I think we just keep Sani in here. I think I go with my... Because I think Sani is in top form now, and he'll relish a game like this. He really will. He'll really be up for a game like this, the form he's on. But Werner at home is much more... Yeah, I can't not pick Chelsea at home to Zenit. Makes sense to play Werner, doesn't it? Because they won't want to play him against Spurs, will they? You know, he'll want to play Mount and Lukaku and pull it, you know, all these other guys that aren't Werner. Werner hasn't really played much in the league this year. So I think, yeah, we'll do that. That means All-Star D4. Let's champion Euro thing. I've got a common goalkeeper in. Let's just sack that off, right? I think I might have some stronger players. So Cherky for Sani. I've still got Sorloff. Good play Sorloff. Mancini and Denier off me. Wow, look at this. That's a much better team, isn't it? We're still gambling on the Horvath, right, which I can live with. But that could be a great team, by the way. Dropping Cherky, bummer, right? Sorry, Cherky. Yeah, that's much better, isn't it? And then that punty team with the Common Pow, I'll put the Cherkies in here. So Common Pow. Who's in training? Then we got a game. So Zinho. No Zinho, sorry, I beg your pardon. Tio. Okay, Tio can be the defender then. That works for me. So I'm not expecting much from him. But he could do it. You know, he's got every right to be up there with a shout. McKennie. Cherky. And then a spare. I don't think Isco starts that game. Camavinga. I think Vlasic is the sensible choice here. Or Sorloff. I could just throw Sorloff in. There we go. That's easy. Okay, why not? Sack it. And let's go Captain McKennie in case he like scores and assists or something. Because that's he needs to make it up. You know, he's get this bad boy tag stuck to him now. He definitely needs to show up. And if Juve were to do well in that match and he starts, he's got every right to be involved in a goal and an assist because he's had that kind of form. I'll just tick off my training and catch up with you guys in the live chat, see how you're getting on. So yeah, so I've altered stuff. Tuchel will want to rest some of the lads for that. Werner starts midweek. Brilliant. That take a swig. If I improve it, then it'll be clear. That's what I always do, isn't it? So I clear my head. I've got some ice water as well, which I've been getting through tonight as well. But I don't, you know, and it's funny, right? Because when you get these guys coming back in, like Darwin Núñez, I'm actually really quite content not playing them this game week because I don't want jeopardy with all my cards all the time.
The sticky's getting even worse and worse.
Yo, sorry about that, guys. Had to assist the kids. Called into action at this time of night. Got to jump at a moment's notice. So yeah, I can be quite content. I don't always want the jeopardy. I don't always want to be running the risk of those headaches and those shoulda, woulda, couldas. So guys that are in doubt, if I can not play them, then that's exactly what I'm going to do. Thought he was coming back. So yeah. So who else can get into training? I suppose Isco can. I played Isco. Oh, I've not went back on the play page. Sorry. I played Isco this game week and he didn't even get off the fucking bench. Camavinga came off the bench, and I think we all know the rest is history from there. Did very well. A Yeti, yeah. If I don't need to play a Yeti, I'm not going to. But I think he starts. Will he score? Probably. But that'll be all she wrote. He might get subbed. He might not get a goal. He might miss a big chance. You know, it's not. Oh, don't have any goalkeepers for this mob. Now can I see what training team this is? No. I'll be able to tell us the last one anyway. I'll just delete that. I've obviously moved a goalkeeper around or something. Oh yeah, I took the common Pau Lopez. Of course. Furuhashi. Eli Sanchez. Vlasic. Yeah, let's get Vlasic in. Good little training team, that. No, you have to pick them and shout. For subs. No, I definitely don't have to pick them. I can just leave them on the sidelines and just hey, I'm not playing them this week. It's too much of a gamble, and I'm not going to live and die on that for this game week or for that team. Maybe I'll play them in another gambly team, one that I know doesn't have much of a chop. But hey, let's just stick them together, patch them up, roll them out, and see if they can bring something back with them. And if they can't, they can. And if they do, they do. No Ohio, it's coming off the benches and stuff, scoring goals and stuff. So he won a penalty, I think that's what he done, or did he score? But he's slowly coming into something, so he might get some form in some SO5 action shortly. That would be great. I think is that my training all finished? Yes, it is. Awesome, awesome. So the last thing we'll kind of look at, guys, and then I'll probably love yous and leave yous. Night, Joshy boy, take care. Is what Whale does. I'm just going to have a wee look at the prize pools, see what under 23 D2. So I'm looking at be finishing 6th. Now let's just confirm that. I think we're pretty much all there now. Should be about 100% done. Dun 6th. Okay, so that means that I am the 4th seed basically for a tier 2 super rare out of this pot. 6th or 7th. Okay, so I think there's a possibility I can go down one spot. I don't know why, but hey ho, it is what it is. So let's see what the tiers are. So it doesn't necessarily mean you get the first one in the list, the second one, whatever their RNG kind of prioritizes. Where you finish does influence that. They've said as much already in the past, which is why I always get excited being at, I don't mind being tier 2 if I'm at the top of tier 2. Tier 3, you will get the better ones middle to top end of the pool. You know, if you're at the bottom just scraping into the prizes, you are going to be at the bottom of the pool. It's just the way it is. So by being the 4th, so no one else has more right to one of these things other than 3 people that are ahead of me in the queue basically. Okay, so we've got Jesus Ferreira, we've got Barco, Zian Fleming's one of my favourites, I like him a lot. This Tuvikin's got a great rep. Nuruddin Mihailovic, I'm 50-50 on, I'm not even sure if he is still 23. But Julian Alvarez, Caden Clark, Adil Ayushi, that's even how you say it, Kakere, Brenner, Forsveld, Van Elwyk. There's a good pool here, and this is like, you know, maybe where, look how many that we've been down in the list before we've got to those ones. This is maybe where the 4th seeds might fall. It's around here, and some of these guys, Gus Till, Koki Machida, Cifuentes, I would fucking love to win Cifuentes, I really would. Benacer would be sweet, no doubt about it. 2 Cabrals are better than 1, I suppose. Palacios would be cool. Piakowski, I think, is the crown jewel. If I could get a Piakowski, I would be well made. Another Paulinho, I said 2 are better than 1. This Sequay guy, everyone loves him, so I guess I'd be quite happy about it. But again, look, the 4th seed, Ayueda, is down here. So is Disase, Balerde, Tolkien. So I've got every right to get a decent card this game week, and I'm well made up for it. But targeted top 10, looks like we're bringing it home, and we just need to wait for time to tick by and for us to get it over the line. But otherwise, guys, good form. We're getting to a good little vein. I'm really excited about this Ivan Illich, and I'm also really excited about my Braves Mendez. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed yourself this game week, guys. Hope you've had fun. I hope you've pulled some prizes in. I hope you did well in the special weekly. We've got some of you guys that are with us tonight that are obviously chasing down a top 200 spot. So well done to you for getting that if you get it over the line. And yeah, I'll catch you on Thursday. Some more stuff about in the meantime. Like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff, guys. Stay out of trouble, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye. Oh, actually, if you're still there, right? If you haven't went anywhere just yet, I'll go back, right? This is the one thing I just remember. It's like, oh, I never touched on that. Okay, so we're chatting about subs and DNPs and whatever. Okay, 1 hour 18. I'm going to make a note of that, right? And I'll timestamp it if I need to come back to it later. Okay, 1:18. Okay, now we're all talking about subs and DNPs and whatever, right? Wait till you see this. Okay, so in SoRare Data leagues this game week, I lost quite convincingly to Stabilizer. That's how you say it. Where I was let down was, and this is his team, was up front. Giacomakis, I captained him, he didn't play. So I'm like, right, okay, my sub, surely he would have played. No, he didn't. Subs don't help. They don't cure everything, okay? Now, those are 2 bad picks, okay? They just, no one knew Giacomakis didn't do a pre-season or was unfit or whatever. The Joseph thing was an oversight on my part, but that's quite a typical situation for a passive kind of user. And I have just went through at a glance who's got the best stats and all the rest of it. I did already apologise for the oversight I made with my Martinez. I should have went and just double checked dates and trying to imagine a flight schedule and, you know, when would they actually feasibly land back in Atlanta, etc. And I didn't. But anyway, so yeah, subs don't cure everything. If you're still here, hope you've enjoyed that little extra wee bit of something. But yeah, have a good night, guys. Like, subscribe, share, retweet, all that good stuff. Stay out of trouble, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care. Oh, I'll show you this before I go. Barco, my man. Barco. I was going to say on the podium, baby, but we're not quite on the podium.